ever notice how the more somebody brags, the less impressive they seem? We're going to talk a little about humility. Humility is not loud or flashy, but mildly powerful. And today's readings teach a master class in living with grace and purpose. I'll tell you a little quick story. My wife, Wendy, and I, a while back in my prior profession, went to a friend's Christmas party. We were enjoying the festivities, and I'm one of those kind of people that like to sit back and watch, kind of a semi-introvert. I'm a people watcher. But there was a loud guest at the party, and he started, of course, my luck, he started coming to me. I saw him before I heard him before I saw him. When he got there, we started talking a little bit, and I asked him what he did for a living. With a proud, silly little grin, he leaned over and said, "I oversee 6 crack houses down in the 3rd Ward of Houston." I said, "Okay, interesting." Talked, and he said, "Well, what do you do for a living?" So I got in a similar little way, and I smiled, and I leaned in close to him, and I said, "Well, I'm a lieutenant with the Texas Department of Public Safety Narcotics Service." Well, his face kind of froze, and then he saw somebody across the room, and he said, "I got to go over and talk to that person." Now, I tell that story fairly often, and it's true. It's like some police get together, or even when you're with your friends, you kind of embellish things. Well, this one is true from start to finish. Just ask Wendy. She was there. But you see, bragging, when you think about it, usually backfires. And when it backfires, it's revealing more about somebody's insecurity than their strengths. But if it's a humble, quiet person that listens and helps other people, they should leave a lasting mark. Their actions usually and always, I say always, speak louder than words, and their impact stays put. So, Sirach, getting into the readings, teaches humility like it's good advice from a wise grandparent, saying, "My child, conduct your affairs with humility, and you will be loved more than a giver of gifts." Now, in our crazy world, we're obsessed with achievements and social media clicks. That's a radical bit of advice, because we think we'll be valued for our actions. But Sirach shows the humility as the true treasure, the quiet strength that asks, "How can I serve?" Sirach also stresses humility when he says, "Humble yourself more. The greater you are, and you will find favor with God." So the higher you go, the more humble your heart should be. And we should always respect those who act with grace, treat everybody equally, and listen more than they speak, rather than the people that brag about their achievements all the time. Remember, humility isn't thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less and others more. Sirach says that the mind of a sage appreciates proverbs, and an attentive ear is the joy of the wise. Humble people are teachable. They're open to growth and to wisdom, and unlike people who think they know everything, humble hearts are rich, fertile soil, open and ready for God's loving touch to shape us. Now let's look at the gospel. Jesus attends a dinner party, and as usual, Jesus serves truth as a side dish. He notices the guests are scrambling about for the best seats, competing to see who could look more important. And he can see their thoughts. They seem to be, if I sit here, I'll look important, or I deserve to sit next to the host. So Jesus throws in a parable. When you attend a banquet, don't take the best seat. Go to the lowest one. It's better to be invited up than sent down. And at a wedding, choose the table in the back. If the host invites you to join the family, it's an honor that's given, not taken. Now, Jesus isn't offering Emily Post etiquette advice. He's revealing how God's kingdom operates. Everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, but the one who humbles himself will be exalted. Now, in God's heavenly order, greatness isn't about titles, awards, or Facebook followers. It's about hearts that serve, listen, and lift others. Then Jesus surprises us by saying, when you have a party, invite the least instead of those who can repay you. This means giving without expecting anything back. And while we often seek recognition, Jesus urges us to love selflessly and not for praise. And God notices all that stuff. Every silent act of service, kindness, and choosing the lower seat. And Jesus promises that we'll be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous. It's a promise of the eternal reward. Okay. What's this all mean for us? It means we don't need to elbow our way to the top. We're called to serve quietly, listen intently, and give without strings attached. And trust that God keeps track, and God's record is filled with grace. Humility isn't about hiding your gifts or lessening yourself. It's about using our talents to lift others, not to elevate ourselves. Like the teacher staying late and helping the student after school, or the coworker does something really good, but he or she shares the credit, or the parent that listens patiently to the little kids that's always talking all the time. These acts, they may go unnoticed here in the earth, but they shine in God's eyes. Now, in a culture that rewards self-promotion, humility feels broken. Social media pokes us to craft ourselves in ways that we really aren't. And ambition drives us to surpass others. But Jesus and Sirach remind us that true greatness lies in humbly serving, not in being loud and seen, as my loud little friend at the party was. The humble heart doesn't need applause because it's anchored in God's approval. So next time you're tempted to take the best seat or brag, pause. Take a step back and choose humility. Let others go ahead of you and serve without expecting a reward. Because in God's view, the one who humbly serves is the one who stands the tallest in heaven.